So with the emergence of social media and all these online fitness apps, there's so many fun, exciting and diverse ways of training calisthenics with all these circuits. They give you a muscle pump. You feel like you're working incredibly hard because you get a massive sweat on. And for the average person, it's great. They're getting a bit of a sweat, as I said. They feel like they're working out, expending a little bit of energy, so they might burn a little bit of fat. Their diet's probably shit anyway, so maybe that's not exactly true. But if your goal is to actually get strong with calisthenics, these are the worst things you could possibly be doing. So I've been a calisthenics coach for close to 5 years now, and I've worked with almost 1,000 athletes, which is pretty crazy. And this is by far the most common issue that I see with anyone that comes to me. So I'm gonna be explaining 5 workout styles that are so incredibly uncommon that you shouldn't be doing and why, and workouts that you should be doing and why, and actually explain when some of these somewhat incorrect workouts can actually be applicable to your training. So this is probably one of the most important videos that you'll watch, especially if you're a beginner and intermediate. So follow along and you'll save yourself years of progress, I promise you. So the first workout style that I see very commonly, and I think a lot of people do know it's probably not the best, but I'm gonna say it anyway, and that's circuits. Because if you're doing circuits and you're jumping from doing these pull-up variations to then going to do some random stuff all through a circuit, you're obviously just not resting enough between each set. There's too many diverse exercises. You're not able to progressively overload and actually get stronger, and you can't dedicate all of your attention to one exercise. So when circuits are applicable and when you can train them, you just need to make sure they're programmed correctly if you are gonna do a circuit, because I do understand they can help cut time. And if you only have 20 minutes and doing a circuit, I guess it's not the worst thing. What I do recommend doing if you are gonna do circuits is try and group together opposing muscle groups. So make sure you go from pull-ups to a core movement to some form of push exercise and then maybe legs. That way you are giving your muscle groups sufficient rest and you can somewhat build okay strength. Not comparable to traditional sets, but it isn't too bad. And if you are gonna do circuits, try and group together some amount of rest. Like if you can do 1 minute rest, it's probably not enough, but at least somewhere around that. Best case scenario, you're doing like 2, 3, 4 minutes, but obviously you're probably gonna be short of time. So just try be smart in terms of rest periods and what muscle groups and exercises you do choose if you are gonna do circuits. Just try not to do them though. So the second one that is without a doubt probably the most common one, and that's supersets. And obviously supersets is when you go from one exercise and go straight into the following exercise without rest. While this is okay, I guess if you wanna really cut the amount of time, you're so much better off just separating the 2 exercises altogether. If you wanna build strength, you wanna be as fresh as you possibly can to get the most out of each set. And you just simply cannot do that if you're doing a whole bunch of supersets. So if you feel like you're just doing supersets because you feel like you're getting more out of your workout, I promise you're definitely not. Just separate the 2 exercises. But if you're doing it to reduce the time, or you just simply enjoy it, I'm aware some people enjoy it, which is totally fine. What you're so much better off doing is supersetting opposing muscle groups. So what you would do is you would go from pull-ups, completely exhaust yourself, to then going and obviously doing a pike push-up. So we're supersetting a vertical pull with a vertical push. And that way, and according to the research, you can mitigate some of the effects that supersets do have. However, as I've said, just try not do too many supersets, especially at the start of the session. If you are gonna do supersets, finish your last workout with a bit of a superset, get a burn if you enjoy it, but please just separate the exercises. So much better off from a strength perspective and even building muscle. So the third most common workout type is drop sets. I actually see this all the time with pull-ups. A lot of people will do as many bodyweight pull-ups as they can and then do the banded pull-ups, or they'll also do push-ups for as many reps as they can, maybe off an extended platform, and then go do bodyweight push-ups on the floor or even kneeling push-ups. And while this is obviously gonna really exhaust the muscles and it may be okay to increase the intensity and really build a little bit of muscle, to be honest with you, it's actually not too bad for that. But from a strength perspective, you're completely compromising your growth. You wanna be as fresh as possible for each set to get the most out of each set and keep performing at a high intensity. Bit of a broken record here, but it is so important to be doing that. And if you're going from a hard exercise like archer pull-ups or whatever pull-up variation that you're really struggling with, and then you exhaust yourself even more with some more pull-ups, your next set is completely compromised and the rest of your session is compromised just because it's so fatiguing. You're actually gonna build more strength, keeping everything in a lower rep range, using your energy for that high intensity effort, and then just resting your full 3, 4, 5 minutes. So the fourth worst workout type, and this is probably a controversial one because I think it definitely has a place, which I'll explain. But for this one, it is doing AMRAPs. And by AMRAPs, I mean as many reps as possible. And the reason why this is so bad is because for the most part, you're doing these AMRAPs with more foundation exercises and you're likely getting way too high reps. To build strength, you want to be working in that 1 to 6 rep range. If you're doing 15 reps, 20 reps, 25 reps, you're building endurance, you're conditioning your muscles a little bit, but you are not building strength. So every now and then, if you're doing an AMRAP of pull-ups at the end of the exercise or at the end of a workout, or push-ups, chest dips, I guess there is a play for it because it is great for building muscle. But for majority of your training, please do not be doing these crazy amount of reps, high rep stuff, and just exhausting your muscle. Treat it for an occasional workout that you can do to just get a bit of a pump going and build some muscle. But for the majority of your training, to build skills and build strength, keep it within that 1 to 6 rep range. And for the last one, I'm gonna group a few points together because I think they kind of work kind of simultaneously. And that is chasing the burn, doing high rep sets and short rest periods. And I see this so often. People feel like they just want to get the most out of their workouts. So they're just exhausting themselves, jumping from this, trying to get as many reps as they possibly can. For the exact same points, it is so poor for building muscle, especially those short rest periods. Take your full 3 minutes of rest. Honestly, in terms of my rest periods, I genuinely rest up to 8 minutes between my first couple exercises that are really strength focused. Towards the end of the session, I do go a little bit shorter to get through the workout, but rest as much as you can, train incredibly hard in those lower rep ranges, as I've mentioned a few times here. So seriously, put simply, guys, if you want to get the most out of your strength gains, train traditionally. All you have to do is pick 4 to 6 exercises that you want to get really strong at per session. Train 2, 3, 4 sets per exercise. Progressively get stronger. Rest enough between each set. Seriously, it's not rocket science, but just train smart and get fucking strong and you'll see insane progress. And if you want programs and coaching support to guide you through this process, it'll change your life. Click the link in my bio. If not, keep following, like, subscribe, send it to a friend. I hope this helps, and all the best, guys.